Do you ever feel like you're stuck in a cycle? You're juggling the tools on the job site, managing the clients, and barely keeping your head above water?
Hello, this is the Hack Hour Podcast, a show where it's all about helping real, everyday, hardworking remodelers learn the secrets to having it all in life and business. And now, here's your host, Mike Minges.
So, how does fear of success and the unknown hold you back? So today's episode is, what can you as a remodeler learn from others in the business world? And it's interesting because there's many successful people out there now, and you can come across a lot of their videos on YouTube. You can buy their books on Amazon. And I have to shoot a lot of you straight. The remodeling industry is behind the curve when it comes to professionalism and communication in general, right? If you can just do some of the basics, the success that your remodeling business will experience, for most of you, it's more than you probably can handle, right? You'll be shocked at just how many clients want to work with you when you just learn some of these simple strategies. All right, so let's tackle this, right? The fear of success, the fear of the unknown. So what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us, right? And this was a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote. Now, the reason I bring this up is many remodelers are afraid of success, and you may not believe it until you start seeing it for yourself, right? So many remodelers are avoiding scaling their business because they fear what that success might demand of them, right? Making a situation that starts to get too big for them to manage and control, right? And so it might mean hiring more employees and managing more clients and tackling larger jobs, all these things that are like taking you outside of your comfort zone. And this fear, man, it leads to like self-sabotage, right? And it leads to you just declining bigger jobs and avoiding that risk altogether. And ironically, that behavior then creates the very chaos that you were trying to avoid in the first place. So this is a real remodeling example, right? Imagine you're the remodeler and you refuse to hire a project manager, a good project manager, right? That might stay bogged down in daily tasks like ordering materials or overseeing subs. And by trying to control everything, you just remain stuck in the grind and unable to focus on growing your business, right? And that fear could be afraid of the expense, afraid of being exposed. Like, well, if I hire a really good project manager, they're going to realize that I don't have systems and I really do just fire from the hip and make decisions at the last minute and then try to blame others, right? Like, it's a scary situation sometimes to bring someone behind the curtain. It forces you to get your stuff together. And that's why I would say you have to do it. Anyhow, all right. Here's a good one too. So there's the book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And Hendricks explains the upper limit problem, right? And this is where people, remodelers, let's say, unconsciously cap their own success, right? So you might think, if I grow, I'm going to lose my connection to my craft or my clients, right? But real success comes from stepping back and allowing others to help you excel. Think about it. So let's talk about this myth of control in business success. You can't control the waves, but you can learn to surf, right? famous quote from John Kabat-Zinn, and it's the illusion of control in remodeling, right? Many of you often believe that being on site ensures quality, right? And while this initially feels true because that's been your most recent experience, this is what creates a bottleneck that slows progress. It's going to burn you out as the remodeler, and it's going to frustrate your team if you hired them under the premise that you were there to grow the business. This was a struggle for me, and it caught me off guard. I didn't realize, because what started happening was I learned how to hire better. And I did. And I hired really talented guys that were better at their craft than I was. And I had to purposefully not go visit job sites and just trust them to get it done. And the scary part was they didn't need me stopping by. They handled it excellently. And these guys flourished when I got out of their way. And if you don't have a clear sense of direction and where you're going in your business, it can be scary to realize that you have people on your team who are more capable in their area of expertise than you were, and they're doing a better job. And you have to recognize that that's not a threat, but that's a compliment that you were able to bring that person on board. And you need to just continue to stay out of the way and continue to find them more jobs so that they can continue to excel at what they do. That is the beauty of being the business owner. And that's where the real success comes from. All right, let's get back to some of these examples. So, like another real remodeling example is many of you guys you're micromanaging flat out, right? Every detail. You're getting involved in choosing the material. You're double checking the cuts. You're getting involved in how they're actually fixing the material to the wall. Look, you are slowing the job down, and you're demoralizing your crew. There's nothing worse than being hired to do a job and then some manager, boss getting in your way, not letting you do the job. It's what probably forced some of you to go start your own business. And you may not see the irony here now that you potentially are doing the same thing to your team that someone had done to you previously. And just remind yourself, like, man, I really didn't like it when that happened. And that person thought they knew better, but they didn't. I have my way of doing it. And my way works. Might be a little different. You know, maybe I put the screw at 16 inches and that guy put it at 18, but we've talked with everybody and either will work in this application. So let the guy do it where he likes to do it. All right? As long as it works. Now, by you getting out of the way, by you training your team and setting clear expectations, then they get to focus on the bigger picture, right? Your team can grow and everybody builds more trust with each other, and the team will deliver bigger and better things for you. So here's a solution from the E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. Many guys will quote this in the trades, and Gerber argues that businesses succeed when built on systems, not heroic efforts. It's a tough one to hear for some people. And look, remodelers can implement policies, checklists, and standards to ensure consistent quality without needing to be involved in every step. In fact, I would challenge you to have, if you have let's say you follow the lead carpenter or project manager system and you have a good staff, let them come up with some of the systems, right? You might give them a sense of direction saying, hey guys, we need to solve this issue. We have to work on the way our change orders are being handled because we're not getting clients to sign them and pay for them the same day. And your team can hopefully draw the connection that, we need to explain to our client when they are signing a contract, hey guys, if you're explaining to the homeowner, your salesperson explains to the homeowner that Mr. and Mrs. Smith, We're writing up this agreement. If for some reason you decide that you want to make some changes down the road, understand that yes, you are able to do that, and understand that that will impact the job in certain ways. What that will then require is a change order. What that means is when you implement that you want, or you express that you want to change, we will stop what we're doing. We will analyze the change that you're requesting. We will let you know the price, how that's going to impact the job overall. We're going to let you know how that impacts the schedule. At which point, if you decide to move forward, you will need to be available to sign and pay for it that day. So before you propose changes, understand that you need to then be available to authorize those said changes. And it all has to happen within a few hours, if possible, so that we can keep the job on schedule and help control costs and delays, right? So you can go back and the whole team can then implement this and make sure it works in a symbiotic way. All right, you understand that. And you don't have to be involved. You let the team figure that out. Hopefully they make the connection. Just give them a little direction. That's it. All right. So a lot of people have a fear of like the tie-in, right? So many remodelers are afraid of delegating because they just think like, well, no one else can do it the way I do it. And look, by you clinging on to control, you're just robbing yourself the time and the energy that you need to grow. And you could be correct. You might be the best. You might be the crown molding king. All right. It doesn't mean that one of your guys that you train, if they're not better than you, then maybe you're not doing the best job teaching them. Maybe you're lacking in your ability to transfer your skill and knowledge, right? And maybe you should work on that instead of focusing on how great you are. Focus on, well, maybe I'm not so great because I can't have this person match or beat my standards. That should be the challenge. Help make that employee better than you were. All right. Let's go on to the next segment here. So, look, we have to shift the way we think often, right? There's a term out there. It's called like a false belief. It's when you think you know something only to later learn that you were wrong. And I laugh because this comes up all the time. And certain people, it's part of their personality. They are just constantly convinced that they are right, even when many people around them are letting them know that no, buddy, you are totally getting this wrong. They're just convinced. Anyhow, if you find yourself saying that I have to do it all myself to get it done right, then recognize that's the problem, right? Truth is that success comes from building a team and trusting others, right? So if you're a remodeler and you spend hours designing the kitchen and managing the subs and you just leave no time for any new opportunities, right? Maybe by hiring the designer and a scheduler, that they would help you free up time to focus on new clients' relationships, right? You don't have to do everything and be so immersed. Bring on a team that supports and helps you grow and lets you experience the discomfort of growing. All right. How about this reference from Multipliers by Liz Wiseman? So Wiseman explains how empowering others amplifies impact, right? So you want to train your crew to meet your standards and beat your standards even, right? And multiply your capacity and your results. I would recommend you look at your crew like a proud parent. Like, how satisfying is it going to be to know that you were able to find 3 project managers this year who are each now excelling and they're managing multiple jobs, and the project managers are training other guys on the site to be potential project managers down the road, right? And you keep learning little bits of information. You share it with them. They grow. They share it with their team. And 3 years from now, you might have 9 amazing project managers, right? That's where you want to go with your thinking. Start looking at the possibilities and recognize that your discomfort and your fear of change is what might be holding you back. Here's another popular, common false belief. I can't control anymore. I can't manage what I have, right? If I grow anymore, I'll lose even more control. And again, the truth is that growth is about empowering others. You're not losing control. You never had the control. Let others take care of it. It'll work itself out. If you've hired the right team and you're giving them the proper support and you're giving them the proper tools, it will work out. All right. So a remodeler, imagine this, right? You have a remodeler who avoids expanding because they are afraid of managing that larger team because it's more than they can control right now. How many guys do you know like this, right? So by implementing some project management system, right? A basic framework that your project manager can work off of, and having some possibly like a weekly check-in where you check in with your project manager, right? This way you can create just a structure that provides some control. You have a little bit, you understand what's going on, but you're not micromanaging. You're empowering your project managers to go do their job. Let them shine. Figure out how can you help them be amazing at their job. There's an interesting concept, and it's from Simon Sinek. It's called Leaders Eat Last, right? So Simon emphasizes that trust within your team creates a culture where everyone strives toward shared success. If you've built a good culture and found good people, and you've shared your vision, let's say you want to be the best kitchen remodeler in the county, there are many project managers and installers that want to be a part of that. They want to walk around, maybe it's with your sweatshirt or t-shirt. They want to have pride that they work for like the best company in the area. And it takes a strong leader to lay that foundation so that they can then come behind you and help you in this mission of yours, right? Achieve these goals. All right. Another common misconception, false belief, right? Some guys think that they just don't deserve success, right? Sounds crazy, but it's very true. And look, success is it's a byproduct, right? It's something that you earn when you just serve others. You don't get it by being perfect. You get it by just doing and being out there and making mistakes and learning from them, right? And being honorable and just following through. So you got to imagine, right? There's a lot of remodelers out there with like imposter syndrome, and they hesitate to take on sometimes these higher end projects, believing that I'm just I don't know if I can do all that. I'm just a regular guy. I've got some basic tools. But look, real success comes from taking on problems and solving problems for clients. It's not from like some arbitrary qualifications. The athlete has to get out on the field sometimes and be willing to miss the shot, but they practice so that the chances of making it are greater. Right? And that's what you do. You practice building. You've built up a repertoire so that when the big job comes, you have a very high likelihood that you're going to succeed and be able to get through it. All right. Let's talk about another part here about taking action, right? Really what we want to do is we just want to let go and lean in. And these are some practical steps that can help you overcome resistance that you might be feeling. The first one could be a little bit of a challenge for some people. It's look, just ask for help, right? So you start by maybe just hiring one assistant, right? Maybe you just hire a subcontractor here and there, and use them as an opportunity to practice some delegation, right? Maybe you find someone that you can hire part-time. Maybe it's somebody who works 1 day a week in your office, answers some phone calls, follows up with some emails, does some bookkeeping for you. Go at your own pace, but at least start taking steps in that direction. How about we take strides to working on communication, right? Maybe that means that you start scheduling some sort of a weekly meeting with your crew. Maybe it's 10 minutes. You just say, hey guys, I'm going to stop by. I want to talk to you for a few minutes. And maybe when you say you want to talk to them, what you really do is you just practice listening to them about where they're at the job, and then pull out the schedule and work through together. Say, okay, cool. So you guys are telling me you're here. This is what's going on. So let me understand. Where do you think you'll be next week? Awesome. Let's set that up. I'll be out next Thursday, and let's see where we're at that point. Boom. Meeting's over. Your team will really appreciate that you're involved and you're letting them do their job. And it shows that you care and that you are all working towards the goal of getting this project done. Now, let's talk about building systems, right? This is the challenge for a lot of people. And we work on helping you with our templates. So at the Remodeling Academy, we provide these for you, right? But a lot of guys really struggle on creating templates, whether that's for how they keep clients up to date, right? If a template for the schedule, or milestones, their scope of work, material orders, job site protocols, right? What's expected of subcontractors? Give me the employee their daily checklist so that they know how to excel at their job. If you haven't taken the time to write these up or develop them or have someone in your office help you, you're missing out. Okay, these are just basic things that lead to success. And you need to share these systems with your team. This is how you start ensuring consistency, and you start finding ways to build your efficiency. You'll recognize where you're not being efficient, and you will improve your team's overall efficiency. Now, how about overcoming the fear of talking, right? Some of you'd much rather just get to work building something than have to talk to a client about it. So if that's the case, consider just starting small, right? You maybe just begin with a short, structured meeting where you focus on some collaboration. Ask the person in the meeting what their thoughts are. Say, I was thinking this. What are your thoughts? What would you see? Okay. And you guys work together. You don't have to do it all yourself, and you'll be shocked. Also, use tools, right? Leverage some technology and to help streamline the communication and take pressure off constant in-person conversation. Zoom, FaceTime. These are some great tools that if you just take a moment and put yourself in a position where you can focus, right? Eliminate all the distractions and chaos in the background, and then you can just talk with someone. You may not have to find yourself driving across town or trying to fight rush hour to get somewhere, when that would be an acceptable solution. But make sure, again, that you're in a place where you can be focused and there's not a lot of distractions. And you have to plan ahead for that. Don't go to some like fast food restaurant where it's super busy and try to be inside having this conversation where it's very distracting for the person on the other side. I mean, maybe that means you have the meeting in your vehicle. You have to put the windows up, but make sure your vehicle looks clean and presentable, and just sit there and say, hey, right now, I'm on another job site. This is the best place for us to communicate. So, keep the radio off and just be focused. So let's talk about releasing that desire to have to be on the tools. For some of you guys, it could just be something as simple as each week you slowly just start assigning a task to your team here and there, right? To your helper. You slowly start helping them build up their skill set so that, maybe this time instead of running all the base molding and having them just cut, you show them your process. This is how I measure all the rooms, and this is my cut list. This is how I make the cut list. So what I'd like you to do today, Bill, is I'd like you to go around, make the cut list, and let's see how that works, okay? And let them start to get a feel for how you do it, and show them the tricks that you've learned that took you years. You share that with them now so that this helper, right, can be a proficient carpenter in months where it might have taken you years. And that's how you'll be able to get off the job site quicker, but yet still getting great results. And recognize that a lot of it's up here, and that you and your value really is in being the leader and guiding the business, right? Your value, it no longer has to be tied to the fact that you can install X amount of base faster than anyone else, or you can hang that many more cabinets a day than anybody else, or you can put that many more squares of shingles down than anybody else. Now your value becomes, hey, I know how to teach other guys how to do it better than I ever did. And I've taught 5 guys and I've grown my team, right? So you start recognizing that your value comes from doing new things and building up others. All right. So I hope you guys found some good value in this little bit of a different concept today, and want you to understand that you don't have to be on the tools just to feel successful. And in fact, you need to get off of them if you're not already. And for some of you, it's you have to go on and, if you've been the project manager for a while, well, you need to hand that over to somebody else. If you've been doing all the selling for a while, it's time to maybe bring on another salesperson, someone to help carry the burden with you and help grow this business of yours. All right. So remember that by you helping others, right? Whether it's your team, it's your clients, your family, you're going to find that success will come naturally to you. And it's mostly been that your success has mostly hit roadblocks because of your discomfort and resistance of stepping out into that change and being uncomfortable. So ask yourself, what is it specifically that you're holding on to out of that fear and discomfort, right? How can you start changing today? So thank you for tuning in to another episode here at the Hack Hour. We're here at the Remodeling Academy. We'd love to have you if you're not already a part of our affiliate program. Look, the keys to success, they're right there. You just have to take them. So visit the remodelingacademy.com today, and let's get you going in that direction if you're not already. Till next time, take care.
Thank you for listening to the Hack Hour podcast. It would be awesome if you would leave us a quick review on iTunes. To further your remodeling success, go to remodelingriches.com.